Sambatskana Mongol Chuda, and welcome to Talk with the
Nominjin is a West Hollywood-based rhythm and blues singer and songwriter whose illustrious career began in 2003 at the young age of 14. She's performed all over the world in a multitude of languages, most recently at one of the world's most prestigious venues, New York's Carnegie Hall.
Nominjin, welcome to you all the way from West Hollywood. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's so good to see you, Nominjin. But it's not the first time I have met you today.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you last week on UBS
Yes,
Music.
you and I, Allison and I, have been invited to be guest observing judges for the Universe Best Songs competition. So that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
How much fun was it? I'm living for that, hanging for it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, did you enjoy the younger generation?
Oh, loved it, loved it. I particularly enjoyed those two girls who came out and did the Christina Aguilera
they were so sweet.
Candyman
Yes.
song. I loved them.
They had this matching outfit.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I look forward to seeing you back there. But right now I want to talk about you, sister. Yes. Nominjin. Okay, listen. You have performed at Carnegie Hall as part of Grammy Award-winning composer Christopher Timms' concert. You performed as a soloist in 5 different languages with a choir of 600 people and an orchestra of 300 members. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, having chosen this path of a performing artist, the greatest honor is to be able to say that you've performed at Carnegie Hall, and also to be invited by a 2-time Grammy-winning classical composer to be a part of his project was a privilege and a huge honor. So Carnegie Hall, it was surreal. I never really, for some reason, it's really silly, but every singer should aspire to perform at Carnegie Hall, but
I aspire to perform.
right?
One
Right?
day.
Yes, but for some reason, up until the point where Mr. Tin, he actually, first of all, he invited me to perform for his second album, following his 2-time Grammy-winning album. Yes. He invited me to perform for his album, The Drop That Contained the Sea.
Yes.
And that album, he wanted me to perform in Mongolian. He wanted me to put Mongolian ancient lyrics to his composition.
Oh, wow.
And that particular recording, the London Royal Philharmonic was
Amazing.
the collaborator with him on that particular song. So I was. Here, I was, I'm a young artist, I'm a young singer, and being invited to perform, sing an original song for a Grammy-winning artist's album, and that particular song being the Royal, the London Royal Philharmonic.
And Nominjin, this album was #1 on the Billboard classical chart.
Yes, that one. Yes,
it was a
it debuted #1.
popular.
Yeah, it debuted #1 on the Billboard classical chart in May of 2014. So, yeah, so Carnegie, that's how it happened. And first of all, I didn't really expect to be singing in 5 different languages. Initially, I was supposed to sing my own song, but eventually, it helped that I have always been interested in different cultures, and I've been singing in different languages all of my life.
And I know you sang in 5 different languages, but you can actually sing in 12 different languages, I've read, so you're lucky that he only hit you up for 5, right?
Yeah, actually right now I can sing in 15 different languages, and thanks to that performance I had to learn how to sing in Farsi, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now listen, what was it like performing at Carnegie Hall?
Well,
what was the audience? I know you've sung in front of 50,000 people in Japan and in Thailand and even in Chinggis Square, Mongolia. What was the audience size like at Carnegie Hall?
The Stern Auditorium is the largest auditorium at Carnegie Hall. So, but it holds about, I believe, about 3,000 people. And of course, it's Christopher Tin's concert, so it was full house. And at the very end of the show, when all of us went on stage, we got apparently we got a 3-minute standing ovation. Somebody had videotaped it and put on YouTube, and when I was on stage, we didn't realize it was 3 minutes long, but people clapped for 3 minutes. That's as long as a song.
Nominjin, you're an international performing artist. You've performed all over the world. Would you say Carnegie Hall was the highlight of your career?
I would definitely say it was. I feel like it's the beginning of my career in the States, because I've lived there for a while, and I've done projects there. I've done musical collaborations there with prominent artists, but Carnegie Hall is another level. It's another story. So
it's the pinnacle of success in terms of the music industry.
In terms of a vocalist, a singer, yes.
Mundag.
Thank you so much.
Chishu. I'm Jalfusi. These are some words we'll use these for universal best songs. I'm practicing my Mongolian. Now listen, Nominjin, you live in West Hollywood. Yes. What are you doing in West Hollywood these days? And what's it like living in America?
Yeah, well, I've been residing in West Hollywood since I was 17 years old. That was the first time I went to Hollywood for my own personal project. And that particular project, actually, it's exciting because I do have acquired the rights to release that project, which was actually in collaboration with Rupert Hine. He's a British producer, and he's produced 3 of Tina Turner's albums, as well as produced Suzanne Vega and Kate Bush, a lot of singer-songwriters. So he's a living legend. So for me, as a 17-year-old, upcoming singer-songwriter, I worked on an entire album with him, where we collaborated with incredible musicians from India. So we flew to Mumbai, and we recorded the musical instruments in Mumbai live, and we invited performers, highly successful and well-recognized Indian musicians. For example, Louis Banks. He is considered as the king of jazz of India, and he performed on that album with and many other, Shivamani, for example, he's been playing the percussion since he was 11 years old. He's also a living legend. So we had Niladri Kumar, he's a sitar legend as well. So that album was incredible, and that's what first brought me to Los Angeles to work on that project. So it took a year and a half, about 2 years, to create that music, and it was an incredible growth experience as a songwriter and as a singer. I wrote all the songs on there. So I think I'll probably be putting it out there really soon for people to hear, because people deserve to hear those great musicians come to life on these songs. And yeah.
Oh, Nominjin, that's fascinating. Now you're talking about it telling me a little bit about India. You're no stranger to Indian culture, to Russian culture, to the Caribbean. You, as a child, moved around the world and lived in many different countries. Tell me about why you moved around, and perhaps a little bit about your childhood experiences in the Caribbean and in India. I mean, this is a very long question. I mean,
well, just to make a long story short, my mother, she's an academician and a scholar, and the first time she took me abroad was when I was a year and a half old. And I lived in Russia for 3 years as a child. And then after that, my mother, she came back to Mongolia and started teaching at the National University of Mongolia. And after a few years of teaching there, she went to South India, Kerala, to pursue her doctorate in sociology.
Fascinating.
So that's where I picked up English. So she took me there when I was 5 or 6 years old, and
so you learned English in India?
I learned English in India
after arriving back to Mongolia from Russia.
Yes,
as you do.
Yes. So I lived in India for 5 years, and then came back to Mongolia. And soon after that, my mother, she raised me as a single mom up until I was about 10 years old. And then she married my stepfather. He's an American. He's a consultant. So he was appointed to the Caribbean as a consultant. So that's what made our whole family move to the Caribbean. And of course, it was all sun and dancing.
How long were you living in the Caribbean?
Well, we were supposed to live there for 3 years, but we only stayed for 1 year because I was getting, restless. I wanted to perform. I wanted to grow as and I had already declared to my parents that I was going to become a performing artist, a singer. So I was like, I don't want to be stuck on an island. It was a lot of fun. You know, every day you go to the beach, you go snorkeling, you go swimming, and I had this really strong tan. Everybody thought that I was from Hawaii or something, but that was, as far as you know, having fun, that was the place to be. But as I wanted to really grow as an artist and learn and pursue music, so my parents, they had actually. I feel sorry for them that they had to give up the Caribbean for me, but they did, and so much more. They've sacrificed so much more just to get me here today, you know. So they are the kind of parents, my father and my mother, to put their kid first, and that's the kind of parent that I wish to be someday. So.
کمند صبح باربان افکنن ای خسرو روز بوده در جام افکنن می خور که من نودی سهرگه خیزان آواز اشربون دارایان
Nominjin, what are you working on now in Hollywood? What are you doing there at the moment?
Well, West Hollywood has been my home for the last several years. So I stay there. I study acting. I continue my artistic development, and I collaborate with different producers and songwriters and write songs. So a lot of creative work. But a lot of, I come and go a lot. I come to Mongolia a lot for work too, so I fly back and forth at least a couple of times a year. And, but yeah, Hollywood is my home right now.
When you're in Hollywood, do you miss Mongolia?
You know, I'm a nomad, and I'm a highly adaptable person. So I just, you know, I could probably make a cave my home if I had to. I live in the moment, and it has just become who I am because of my spirituality. I've been meditating for 3 hours a day for the last 10 years. Yes.
Really?
Yes. So that has made me a truly liberated spirit. So I can be anywhere, I can be doing anything, but I just am in the moment, and that I feel like is my true wealth.
And your true home. So wherever you are, you're at home.
Yeah, as I feel like as long as my heart is in the right place, I'm home.
Fascinating. And Nominjin, you are a vegan. You've also been the first runner-up twice for Asia's Sexiest Vegetarian Award. I want to talk about this because I didn't know there was such an award.
Yes. Have you heard of the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals?
Yes,
PETA?
I have.
So PETA, every year they nominate celebrities from all over the world for this title. So I ended up, being voted as one of the sexiest vegetarians of Asia, vegetarian celebrities of Asia. So.
I spoke to Otko Portavdorj about this, and I know you guys are friends. And one day I hope to come out with you both and have some vegan lunch or dinner. Why did you become a vegan? Tell me about your lifestyle choice.
Yes, I've been a spiritual seeker for most of my life. I think it comes from the fact that I grew up in a harmonious society in India, back in Kerala, where, first of all, I was raised as a Buddhist, but my mother enrolled me in a private Catholic school. So my first teacher was a nun. It was, and so that school, I got to build a relationship with God and the concept of God and Jesus, and I used to pray in a church. It was strange. Like, I used to really seek, and at the same time I would come home and then we would go to Buddhist seminars and conventions where there would be 100,000 people listening to the Dalai Lama when I was 7 years old. And I actually met him twice in person, when I was 7 and when I was 10 years old. So the Dalai Lama, and then Christianity, growing up in a Catholic school, and then my neighbors were Hindus. So I would also go there and pray with them too. Around the candlelight, I would pray with them. And then I would hang out with the Muslim ladies, also other neighbors. And, you know, they would teach me how to make coconut milk. And so it was a rich spiritual experience where I was exposed to all these religions and the beauty of all these religions. So growing up as a little girl, I saw that every religion is actually one. That was a concept that nobody had to teach me that. That was the society back in Kerala. Everybody smiled at each other. Everybody was kind to each other. It was almost like a utopian society. It exists. When people don't, you know, compare each other, you know, according to their position in society or their material possessions, things are different. And so that's where I grew. I lived there for 5 years, and that whole experience influenced me to grow up, to want to grow up to be a good person, to want to grow up to be a compassionate person. And I was a vegetarian most of the time in India. And then when I came back to Mongolia, when I was 13 years old, I took a vow of nonviolence, which included the vegan diet. So I'm very, very serious about it. I don't consume any animal products, and that's mostly out of love for the animals and the environment, and of course also for myself, because the Dalai Lama said, it's okay to be selfish, but you have to be wisely selfish. So I consider myself a wisely selfish person for making those choices at a young age. And I also took a vow of no alcohol, no drinking, no intoxicants. So I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life, but believe me, I'm the craziest person at a party, and I've been told, no, seriously, I've been asked so many times.
Have you been drinking?
Yeah, no,
seriously.
I haven't. People say, what kind of drugs are you on? And really,
you don't need it.
No, I don't really need it, and I really feel like it was a choice, and I'm proud of that choice. I'm happy with that choice, and really, I did it all for myself. I didn't do it because I wanted to.
Your parents said do this.
No, I didn't do
warning.
it, or I didn't do it just because I wanted to set an example for other people or things like that. But really, my own spiritual growth, my own inner peace and happiness, I feel like that's going to rub off on people anyway. So it's important to focus on myself and self-awareness and knowing who I am, knowing my strengths and weaknesses, and working with that.
Fascinating.
So I didn't go through a teenage phase because
But how lucky.
I started.
I go through this phase every year.
No, but believe me, I'm not. I'm so not perfect. I'm still human. I still have many flaws and weaknesses.
Okay,
but
tell me. Okay, give me one flaw then. Just one.
Well, let's see. Well, sometimes I procrastinate things.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one.
There's one. And
Thank you.
But I'm trying to overcome that. I really admire people with self-discipline. So
Self-discipline's one of the tricky ones.
Well, I think that's for all of us human beings. It's a tough one. So.
I think it's the toughest.
Yeah.
Now, Nominjin, your family actually has a vegan restaurant here.
I actually started that when I was 17.
You started that?
Yeah, I invested invested whatever money I had at that time, and I also brought in investors from Singapore, a husband and a wife. And
what's the name of it? Is it still operating today?
oh yeah, it's the name of the restaurant is Luna Blanca.
Luna Blanca.
Luna Blanca. It means white moon, which is Tsaransar in Mongolian. And the restaurant has been doing really, really well for a vegan, vegetarian place. We've been actually at the top of the list out of 180-something restaurants in Mongolia for the last 6-7 years. We've had rave reviews on TripAdvisor. We climbed to the #1 spot, and usually we're top 5 in the world for Mongolia out of over 100 restaurants.
Gosh, well, I'm going there. Alona Blanca, where is it located?
It's located right across the street from the Zana Bazar Museum.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm going there. Maybe
It's inside the FBMT Center and on the first floor of the FBMT Mahayana Center with the Buddhist
I know exactly where that is. I
stupa.
stumbled across that
There's
accidentally.
a building with Buddhist stupa. It's right there on the first floor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nominjin, now listen, tell me a little bit about you. Your family has another business interest in Mongolia and trying to enable Mongolians to access the English language, to learn it at an affordable price.
Yes, that's what brought me to Mongolia.
Not just
a few months
UBS
ago.
music.
That just came along. That was my parents. They asked me to come to Mongolia to help develop aliamori.com, which I gave the motto, affordable education for a stronger nation. And so aliamori.com, we're an online platform, and we are still on our beta stage, so we're still developing, but we have successfully developed the first ever Mongolian platform where the beginner English is being explained and taught in Mongolian online. So whoever has access to internet, young or old, will be able to access this platform and learn English. So we're working on that. We're also collaborating with the Technical University of Mongolia. We've created the engineering English program for the Mongolian Technical University. So we're currently working with the teachers there, engineers. So we're teaching engineering English, and we've also developed medical English for medical professionals. So we're just trying to expand people's knowledge of English in different fields so that people get more opportunities internationally as well as locally. Because
very important. Learning English is it's inaccessible to most Mongolians. It's very expensive. I want to ask you, how important is it to you that Mongolians learn English? I mean, is this something that is important, and why do you think it's important?
Well, as a young person, I feel like if my mother hadn't taken me to India when I was little and hadn't given me the opportunity to explore the world through my knowledge of English, I would be a different person today. So learning English is essential in modern society. And for younger generations, for younger Mongolians, in order for them to pursue a good career path or to go to a good school abroad, they need a certain level of English to be able to get scholarships. So there are hundreds of scholarships available, but I've been told that some young people are not able to get the scholarships because of language barriers.
Of course, it's kind of a sad reality, isn't it?
Yes, and so for me, my dream through this through aliamori.com is to, not just my parents and I, it's a family project that we really want to share with people, is to make it affordable and to make it accessible for people of all economic backgrounds.
Not just exclusive, and I applaud you on that effort. I feel it's very important too. Oh, Nominjin, now listen, God, I could keep you here for a few hours. I don't want to let you go. You compose and sing most of your own songs. Tell me about what you've been working on recently. You and I had a little bit of a rap session. Music. You're amazing. You got the young rapper in me. Tell me about what you've been doing. Maybe sing us a few verses.
Yeah,
if
sure.
You're up to it.
Yes. So I write a lot of pop songs. I write in a lot of different genres. Most recently, I've been working with. I've actually been attending classes at GMUB. It's a Goethe Music UB Ulaanbaatar, where it's a musical project that's being funded by the German government to help Mongolian musicians develop a broader understanding of jazz music. So they're teaching jazz theory and jazz history and jazz performance to a lot of Mongolian singers and songwriters and musicians. So when I came to Mongolia last November, I was invited to attend classes and to collaborate with GMUB, Goethe Music Ulaanbaatar. So that's been also an incredibly enriching experience. And most recently, I've written a jazz tune, as an American jazz standard influence tune, and we're putting really beautiful music to it. So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, I can do a little bit of it a cappella.
Hit it!
It's called.
Please.
All right, sure. And this song is called Eternal Romance. Eternal Romance. Eternal romance is what I envision. Call me naive, call me a fool. Eternal romance, a brand new dimension. Take me away beyond the moon. Whisk me away beyond the sun. Your love is glorious and true. I'm always joyous and never blue. You make me smile with everything you do. I'll be forever grateful for this eternal romance. I'll be forever thankful for this eternal romance.
Blow me away. Leonard Bernstein, George Gershwin, Cole Porter, eat your heart out.
That's very sweet of you.
Wow. God, Nominjin, thank you. Now you've inspired me. I don't know to do what, to go home and give up my career as a musician maybe. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Oh man,
I have
that
another
was
one for
good.
you.
Oh,
I have
come
another-
on, again.
I have another one for you. It's
I want it, man.
Yes, it's this one I actually wrote it when I was 15 years old, and it's called "If They Knew You."
Oh wow.
And
Okay,
it's also very jazzy. So
I love it.
I think you might like it.
I like it.
It's for you.
I'm ready.
All right.
Can you dedicate it to me?
Yes, I dedicate this song, a song that I've written when I was 15 years old, to Allison.
To me.
If they knew you, they would never fall in love with anyone but you. And if they knew you, they would never give their hearts to anyone but you. And oh, they may call me a fool, but they don't know what I'm going through. I know you love me, that's all that matters. You're all that matters to me. I know you love me, that's all that matters. You're all that matters to me.
Oh, Nominjin. Thank you. I'm going to sing for you now.
Yes, please.
I'm not really. I'm just joking.
Yeah, so you can see I have a lot of fun singing.
Nominjin, listen,
That's the thing.
not fun. I mean, that is an incredible talent that you've got.
Thank
And
you.
it's beautiful. Nobody's ever dedicated a song that original song. Wow. Wow. Have you ever considered putting a jazz CD out? Your own?
Oh, yeah, that's probably going to happen sometime
I hope
in the
so.
future. I definitely believe it's going to happen. But for me, I love to create. I love to perform. And to me, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 50,000 people. I really enjoy performing. And, unless, you're going to have to tell me to stop before I stop. Because as a child, I used to sing for 3 hours
And your friends
nonstop.
say, "Hey, Nominjin, shut up up there!"
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm
like
joking.
if I have somebody to lend an ear, I'm singing. Like I probably be singing everywhere and anywhere I get the chance.
Hey, Nominjin, I'm sorry to do this to you. I mean, would you rap a little bit for me too, please? Like you did at UBS Music. Just a few lines from that song you wrote. I mean, I want overseas viewers to see you're not just a sultry jazz composer. You can...
I compose in a lot of different genres as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Okay, so this song is called Hiss.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay. Okay, just to let you know, the rap part, it was co-written with a friend of mine. This song was co-written with a friend of mine. It was written with Richard Nash, aka Riker, and also Tulgat, Tulgat. He's a Mongolian rapper who raps in English.
And
he's
he lives
incredible.
in
he lives in Los
California.
Angeles. So yeah, so they're my collaborators. And
Hi, Tulgat. Yep.
Yes. So yeah, you can say hi to Tulgat.
Tulgat, Sanyon!
And Richard.
Tulgat and Richard. Hit it!
All right. And this is all with no music. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. I don't want to go home.
All right. I'm nice, but don't cross me. My bite can be deadly. There's fire in my kiss, there's pleasure in my lips, but watch out for my hiss. I walk cunning into the room like a limp with a groove, like a pimp in a suit. My swagger have been to the moon. Might seem kinky to you with no hint or a clue. Plus your tricks or your tools and what you're thinking to do. But I'm focused, my third eye open, my speech ferocious every time I spoken. And I notice I'm the one you've been hoping to meet and grow with, 'cause you know that love is my token. Coming on to me, I can see your eyes blazing subconsciously. I can feel my mind racing. This kind of new to me, sort of like blind tasting, but it's working out beautifully, 'cause you're groundbreaking.
Oh. Girlfriend, you got it. I love it. I love you. I love your songs. And I so much look forward to seeing you again, to getting to know you
Absolutely.
better. You're a beautiful, talented lady.
Thank
Nominjin.
you.
Thank you. Oh, gosh. Okay. Thank you, beautiful lady.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's been a ball. I've loved it. Okay, and that's all today, viewers, for Talk With Me. I hope to see you next week. But for now, bye, stand that old see.